What up, great team? Catlin here, looking at homework, and I'm opening up lesson number 3 for us to work through together. This is what we covered on Wednesday whenever we discovered what pi was. So now that we know what pi is and then what it stands for in the relationship of circles, we should be able to test out tables that ask about circles, like number 1 here with Diego. Diego measured the diameter and circumference of several circular objects and recorded his measurements in the table. Boom, 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 boom. One of his measurements is inaccurate. Which one is it? Explain how we know. We will know if they are inaccurate if it does not have the general relationship of about times pi, which is roughly 3.14. So if we take all of his little relationships here, 10, and divide it by 3, 28 divided by 23, and 25 divided by 8, and 48 divided by 15, If we look at all those, you see how all of them but this second one came out pretty close to 3 point something, close to like 3.1, 3.2, 3.3. That means he probably did a good job of measuring those, but this flying disc right here, since 28 divided by 23 is like 1 point something, that's not close. Not close to pi. Although the others are fairly close to it, so we can assume that he did a decent job of measuring on the others, but definitely messed up on measuring that flying disc. All circles should have a roughly 3.14 relationship between circumference and diameter. All right, to complete the table, use one of the approximate values for pi discussed in class. We used 3.14. And so we're going to use that to jump over to the circumference. So all we got to do is multiply by 3.14. Let's jump into it. So 35 times, let's clear that off. 35 times pi. And then, not 3.11, 3.14. That's going to give us roughly 109, 109.9. Let's go ahead and do this one. 5.2 times pi. So 5 2/10 times pi. And that turns out to be 16. Let's round to the nearest hundredth, 16.33. So 16.33. And these are centimeters. These were inches. Sorry, I forget my units. Now, to come back on this table and to go the other direction, we want to divide by our constant of pi. So we want to come back with division by it. So that first one, the circular pond, 556 feet, we want to 556 feet divided by pi. And that's going to give us the rough estimate for the diameter. I'm going to go with 177. So 177 feet. That was close enough for me to round to a whole. 71.6. So 71 and 6/10. We'll divide that by pi. And that will give us our estimate for its diameter, which is 22.80. So 22.8 inches for that one. All right, moving on to number 3. Name a segment that is a radius. How long is it? All right, looks like the diameter is 15, so a radius would be, let's do this one, EA, halfway across, and it would be 15 halves, or 15 cut in half, which is 7.5 centimeters. Name a segment that is a diameter, and how long is it? Well, there's only one diameter segment, and that is from C to D, and it is the full length across, which is 15 centimeters. Parts of circle, we learned how to do that. Lesson 3, complete.